Let's have a look at assembling and fitting control bars for an ultimate pole. This is a control power kit for a number 14 section. So open up the package, and the first thing we have is a small packet of fixings. We have two sizes of Allen key and two different types of fixings. Just separate those out a moment. The smaller fixings with the little fabric or rubber washer are for assembling the control bars. The larger fixings and the larger Allen key are for if you want to permanently attach the control bars to the ultimate pole. You replace the quick release levers with these, but generally speaking you won't need to use those. So if we pop them back in, so take out the various pieces. There's the lower handle, the upper handle, and then we have the three collars that you'll need. So to start with, we need to assemble the handles onto the collars. So unwrap the collars, and you see that they come pre-assembled with quick release levers. So let's assemble the upper handle. You see on the underside there are captive screw threads, and this needs to be attached to the collar. So the easiest way to start with is to take one of the screws, pop it in, and then line it up, and then with using the longer side of the small Allen key, tighten it down a little into position. Then looking down from the top, you can line up the other hole, take the other bolt, and doing the same thing, tighten it up. Tighten it as much as you can using the Allen key, like so, and then to finally tighten from either end, tighten the last little bit. You want those nice and tight so they don't come loose. We'd also recommend every 4 to 6 months checking the tightness of these handles. There we are, that's the upper handle assembled. It's very similar with the lower handle, but it is important to line this up straight so it fits the pole properly. There we are, two more of the collars, and it works in exactly the same way. So if we pop in the first one, tighten that up, and then line up the screw hole. At this stage, tighten these up, but don't fully tighten them. Leave a little bit of movement, because we're going to need to align that with this clamp. And do exactly the same thing again for the other side. Second screw in. And tighten that up. Once again, a little bit of movement. What you need to do now is place this on a flat surface. so that the two collars are perfectly parallel. If they're slightly twisted compared to each other, they won't slide on the pole handle. So ensure they're straight, and then using the Allen key, tighten them both up until they're pink. So we'll making sure we don't move them. We now fully tighten the retaining bolts. Just double check that again. Yes. And then exactly the same as the other one, do the final tighten from either end of the collar. There we are. They're now fully tight and parallel. That's the lower one and the upper one. Now let's look at fitting these to the base of an Ultimate number 14 section. So first of all, on the section, remove the end cap, and then taking the upper control bar, it's worth fitting this the correct way, although people like to use them in different ways, and that's fine, but generally we would recommend this top leading edge being towards the top of the pole. So first of all, open the quick release levers and then slide that up the pole and close in place, closing the levers. If they're slightly too tight, just loosen the levers off before closing. Let's look at fitting the bottom control bar now to the Ultimate handle section. Open up the quick release levers, slide it over the end, and because you've aligned the collars it slides on easily, and then you can close down the quick release levers. If the levers are a bit loose or a bit tight, either with your fingers or a small adjustable spanner, turn the adjuster nut and reclose. There you've fitted the control bars to the correct place in the Ultimate pole. You'll need to refit your end cap, and then it's probably worth playing around with this, get exactly the right position for your use, the size of your arm span in use, and then properly make sure the levers are tight and in position. Let's take a look at setting the control bars up on the pole. Here we have, I've set them up the way I like to work with them. Rough distance about a foot from the base of the pole and about another 1.5 feet on to the top handle. I like to have the top handle in line with the front of the pole, front edges being the clamps, and then the second set twisted round by about 75 degrees, and for me I find this angle works well. So set them up. You can have them straight, or like I like at an angle, or even more of an angle, depending on what feels comfortable for you. What you want to do is, as you extend the pole up and down, you want to see whether the position is right. If you've got a longer reach than myself, you'd want to move the top handle up a bit, and you can do this because you haven't fully tightened the handles yet. So once you've decided a comfortable position, going up and down, you can see how your hands rotate around the control bars. So decide on the position, and then with the Allen key, tighten them up fully so that they're fully tight and they don't move, like that, but not over tight so they crush the tube section. Just test that. They're fully tightened now, and I'm ready to be able to use the control bars in action on a job.